Let me say something. Every piece of information you give away without thinking, that becomes leverage in someone else's hands. This doesn't mean become cold or robotic, it means become intentional. The most powerful people in any organization are not the loudest, they are the most selective. Rule 5: Emotional control is power. The moment you react emotionally, defensively, visibly frustrated or combative, you hand your positioning to the other person, full stop. In high-stakes environments, the person who stays composed while everyone else loses their footing always wins the room. Composure is not suppression. It is not weakness. It is the clearest signal of leadership capacity you can send without saying a single word. Rule 6: Relationships beat competence. The best connected mediocre performer will consistently outperform the isolated top performer in organizational outcomes. That is not an opinion. That is structure. Relationships create access. Access creates opportunity. Opportunity creates outcomes. If you're not building your network with the same discipline you bring to your actual work, you are leaving your career to chance. Rule 7: Perception is reality in organizations. What leadership believes about you matters more than what is objectively true. If you are seen as difficult, that is a problem, regardless of whether it is fair. If you are not seen as ready for the next level, that is a problem, regardless of your actual capability. If the perception is wrong, that is your problem to fix. Not by complaining, by actively managing the narrative. Rule 8: Learn the game, don't complain about it. Resenting office politics is like resenting gravity. It does not change the outcome, it just means you fall harder and faster than everyone else. Every high-level leader you admire did not get there by refusing to engage with organizational dynamics. The goal is not to become a political animal. The goal is to stop being the only person in the room who doesn't understand how the room works. Rule 9: Strategic silence is a weapon. Not every meeting needs your input. Not every conflict needs your response. Not every opinion you hold needs to be expressed out loud. The person who speaks rarely but always precisely is listened to at a completely different level than the person who fills every silence. Restraint signals confidence. Timing signals intelligence. Learn when to go quiet. That silence is doing more work for you than most of your words ever will. Rule 10. Your reputation is built when you're not in the room. That is the real battlefield. In every hallway conversation, every leadership meeting, every budget discussion where your name comes up, a story is being told about you. Either you are shaping that story deliberately or someone else is shaping it for you. Most people spend zero time thinking about this. The ones who advance spend significant time thinking about almost nothing else. Here is your challenge. Now, here's where I'm going to push you, because this is where most people check out. You've built your identity on merit, logic, and performance. You pride yourself on delivering results, on being the person who actually gets things done. And that foundation is real. It is valuable. Don't abandon it. But that same identity is exactly why this conversation makes you uncomfortable. Because accepting that politics matters, that perception matters, that relationships matter as much as output, feels like compromising who you are. It isn't. Here is the brutal truth you need to sit with. If you believe good work should speak for itself, you are operating on a childhood fairness model inside an adult power system. That system does not reward fairness, it rewards positioning. And that mismatch between the model you're running and the system you're actually in is exactly why high performers stall. The one line that matters, if I had to compress everything in this video into a single sentence, one line that changes how you operate from this point forward, it's this: manage perception, influence as deliberately as you manage performance, not instead of performance. On top of it, that is the difference between a high performer who hits a ceiling and an executive who builds a career with real leverage, real visibility, and real impact. My new book, Everything I Just Walked You Through and a Lot More, is the foundation of my upcoming book. It's called The Bet. It will be published in the next 2 to 3 months, and this is not surface-level career advice dressed up in a nice cover. This is a direct, no BS playbook for navigating power, influence, and advancement the way it actually works, not the way HR says it works. Everything from reading your political environment, to building the right relationships, to managing your reputation before someone else manages it for you. If today's video landed for you, the book is going to go significantly deeper. Stay close. You'll want to be first in line when it drops. So I'll leave you with one question. Where are you currently invisible, and what is that invisibility costing you? Not in theory, specifically, what room are you not in? Whose list are you not on? Whose narrative about you is going unchallenged? That's where the work starts. Not by gaming the system, not by becoming someone you're not, by understanding the environment you're actually in and choosing to operate inside it with intention. If this hit, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and I'll see you in the next one.